The U.S. Army joined the Korean War with a rich experience of World War II behind its back. The command knew perfectly well how important it was to have a mobile, self-propelled howitzer on the battlefield, and the Chaffee-based M41 that they had in service provided unsatisfactory protection for its crew. Besides, the M44 chassis was on the verge of becoming obsolete. The solution to that problem was a new artillery system designed from scratch, whose development began in the late 1940s. It had the chassis of the Walker Bulldog, at the time still a prototype tank, and a powerful engine, which resulted in excellent mobility. Although, the engineers first had to redesign half the vehicle by moving its engine and transmission forward, closer to the driver and ammo stowage. Another prominent feature of the future SPG was a brand new cannon with a muzzle brake, separate loading, and a modern fire control system. The T-99 project seemed like a major step forward compared to existing artillery systems. It had all the chances of becoming one, if not for the outbreak of the Korean War. The Army saw the flaws of artillery systems that it had at hand and decided to accelerate the development. Only a few prototype versions later, in 1953, a new howitzer designated T-99E1 entered production. Around 250 units managed to leave the hangars before the military noticed a fatal flaw. The enclosed crew compartment would quickly fill with toxic exhaust fumes from the powder charges and threaten the health and lives of the crew. Production was urgently stopped, and the Korean War ended in the summer of the same year. Something had to be done about the fumes. Later versions received open-top crew compartments, and the new cannons were replaced with tried-and-true 155mm howitzers. It basically meant that the future M44 was getting no improvement to its firepower compared to its predecessor. It did, however, receive better mobility, and its armor provided some level of protection for the crew, albeit far from perfect. The M44 ended up coming too late for the Korean War, so Vietnam could become its next challenge. Only, by that time, the recently designed howitzer managed to become outdated. Small improvements and fixes could not alleviate the situation. In 1963, the United States accepted the M109 into service, and soon after, the Army retired the M44. The new howitzer was leaps and bounds ahead of the predecessor, with the most prominent advantage being a fully rotating turret that offered all-round protection. The M44 project ended up being just another step towards more advanced weaponry, but its story received an unexpected sequel abroad. The United States had produced and sold more than 100 of these vehicles to several countries, including Italy, Germany, Japan, Belgium, and others. Turkey even used them in one of the conflicts in the 1970s. Some of those machines underwent numerous modernization projects and continue to serve even in the 21st century. Of course, the M44 can't compete with modern artillery, but it still remains reliable, mobile, and cheap. In War Thunder, the M44 is among the most multinational vehicles. It can boast great mobility, excellent horizontal aiming angles, and of course, amazing firepower.